Jahlil Hurley has signed his letter of intent with the Alabama Crimson Tide. You see it there on our RPM machine. Alabama, the only school listed. This commitment coming back in February, a hard and firm commitment for Alabama throughout the process. Out of Florence, Alabama, another in-state guy here, 6'2", 180 the cornerback, top 5 cornerback in the class, top 5 player in the state of Alabama. Andrew Bone here to break it down. What is the rundown on Jahlil Hurley, and how did they get the in-state commit so early?
Yeah, they did get an early commitment from Jahlil Hurley. I think a lot of credit has to go to Coach T-Rob, Travaris Robinson, Alabama's first year cornerbacks coach. Probably one of the best recruiters in the entire country with what he's been able to do in this recruiting cycle, and obviously has been known as a great recruiter throughout the process, or throughout the last several years. But Jahlil Hurley was an early commitment to Alabama. There were some other schools that continue to recruit him, including Auburn. He took back-to-back trips to Auburn in the spring, and there was some momentum there on the Auburn side. But Alabama was able to squash that, and really ever since then, he was pretty solid with this decision. Now, he is a tremendous athlete. He's a guy that not only plays in the secondary, but he returns kicks. He's played on offense. Now, he is going to be a secondary player in Tuscaloosa. I think there's still kind of it remains to be seen if he's going to be a corner or potentially a safety. He's a big guy, 6'2", 180 pounds. We've seen some bigger corners in Tuscaloosa throughout the last several years, but just not completely sure if he's going to end up playing corner or safety. I think he had a really good senior season. There's definitely a lot of excitement from his performance as a senior. From when Alabama saw him, his junior season to this year, definitely a lot of growth. So I'm excited to see what Jahlil Hurley is going to be able to do. He's also one of these kids who's enrolling early in Tuscaloosa. So this was a big get for Alabama, a big in-state get. I'm intrigued to see his development at the position, but 6'2", 180 pounds, long arms, extremely athletic. He's going to have a chance to really have a special career in T-Town.
Yeah, he is an early enrollee. A very versatile player as well, like you said. Can play corner, can play safety. Where do you see him slotting in at the beginning here for Alabama? And, from what you can tell, what do you think his preference is there?
Well, I think his preference is definitely cornerback. That's a position he's always played. I don't think he, necessarily wants to play safety, but I think that, it's going to come down to where is he best for his future. And Alabama's going to be able to learn that pretty quickly. He's probably going to start out at corner, could end up moving inside to safety. A lot's just going to kind of depend on where the biggest need is. And I'm sure he's kind of open to, getting on the field wherever he sees, like he might get on there the quickest. And it's going to depend on, some other players on the team who they might bring in from the transfer portal. But he's going to have an opportunity there. There's some cornerback positions that, might be up for grabs. They got a lot of talent there. Definitely some guys that are returning. Can he potentially get to that second team, or will he potentially move over to safety and get some action there as a true freshman? We'll just kind of have to wait and see. But I can see him kind of moving around. We've seen a lot of great cornerbacks that have come to Alabama. May have started off at safety, switched over to corner. Guys like Pat Surtain. We saw Trevon Diggs. Trying to think of who else off the top of my head. Cyrus Jones. That's who I was trying to think of. Cyrus Jones is another guy that was a tremendous athlete coming out of high school. They kind of moved him around before he settled in at corner. Same with D. Milner back in the day. Another guy that moved around in the secondary before finding his true home. So that might be the kind of the situation with Jahlil Hurley heading into his career in Tuscaloosa. Just kind of figuring it out once you get there, but there's a lot of talent there, and definitely somebody that Alabama is excited about, regardless if he ends up playing safety corner or potentially in that nickelback position.
No doubt about it. Any way you draw it here, an exciting defender, 4-star recruit, as you see there again, out of Florence, Alabama. For more on Jahlil Hurley and all things going on today with this day number 1 of the early signing period, you're going to want to check us out at BamaInsider.com. And don't forget, guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel here. Hit that like button and get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this loaded group of defenders. Really, I want to say cornerback, but the chance we could see Jahlil Hurley add to a loaded group of 2023 safeties here as well. For Andrew Bone, my name is Trey Yanity, as Jahlil Hurley has signed his letter of intent with the Alabama Crimson Tide.